Hi, it's Debbie here, and I just want to read you my blog for today, which is To Your Health. Tending to our spirit is so important on a daily basis. However, the physical body in which our spirit chooses to be held also needs an equal amount of nourishment. And I'm not just talking about caring for our outward appearance in the way of clothing, shape, and size. I'm also talking about looking after what makes us tick inside. Our inner bodies need nourishment as well. Gone are the days when all the vitamins and minerals our bodies needed could be guaranteed just by what we used as our food intake. Many of the vital nutrients have been depleted in our soils through negligence, misuse, overuse, and unceasing demand. The strain has taken its toll, and we as human beings suffer, and often without realizing that we are. Man-made chemicals are now constantly being put into our soils to raise bigger and better looking to the eye crops. Our land is being raped of its goodness and fed man-made nutrients that are not good for human consumption, even though our governments do their best to convince us all that they are. It seems that the land is not being allowed to rest and be fed piles of human-made compost made of human-made waste products. The demand is far too great now. The dollar has become the god of the land, rather than God being allowed to tend his soils in the times of the natural seasons he put upon this earth to allow us to survive. Huge conglomerates now scout the farming areas, negotiating unrelentingly low prices for as yet ungrown crops in order to control prices of food that will eventually be sent to the marketplace. We see it here in New Zealand on a grand scale. The farmer is virtually paid in advance for his yield, and that yield has to be ready on a certain date, in a certain condition, before final payments, sometimes negotiated 1 and 2 years previous, are sent to his bank account. The conglomerates, however, have not taken into account the upscaling of costs of fertilizer, transport, and other necessary costs that must be calculated into the process from buying the seed to producing market-ready products. Many of our farmers are being forced into bankruptcy because of this system that no longer allows them to just enjoy working the land, just knowing that at the end of the day, many families will survive purely because of the time they spend day in and day out toiling in their paddocks. It can't be fun for the farmer anymore when he's paid in advance at the price of today for something that will appear many days down the track in a future when prices have escalated out of control. Now, we as people need to get back to the basics if we're going to truly survive this fast-growing pace of life. We need to be growing our own products in our own little plots in our own backyards, just like our grandparents did way back then. Doing that nowadays has always so become a tricky situation when land sizes are decreasing drastically, where once it was a proud moment to become an owner or a renter of a quarter-acre section, when nowadays houses are being built on barely enough land to take the building itself, leaving no space for a garden plot. We need to be saving our own scraps of food in buckets and eventually into larger containers, along with the lawn clippings and other household, animal, land and sea waste. But who wants to be bothered nowadays and spending precious time turning over this often smelly, ugly material, just so that we can return it all to our gardens so that next year's crops might be well nourished by our own hand. We have become our own worst enemy in the way we are being programmed to think today. And I have got off this original subject by conjuring up within you these pictures of life as it is now, and which we have forgotten about or totally ignore because we want things easy, quick and instant. I actually started out to talk to you about how we need to be looking after the inner workings of our bodies, because nothing just happens naturally anymore in our world. There was a time when we could eat and play and still remain the same size and be blessed with tons of energy. There used to be a time when our metabolism fair hummed within us, burning off all that excess fat and ensuring our energy levels were at their peak seemingly forever. Unfortunately, every year we take on another year to our age, and suddenly, without thinking about it, those same foods that kept us in peak condition have now actually reversed their roles, and instead of us being that slim and sexy you, your weight has increased along with your size. And no longer is it as easy to do stuff without some twinge of pain nipping into the enjoyment of life you once relished. It's before you reach this moment in your life that you should have been preparing for change. However, because things were good, you put off till today some necessary adjustments in lifestyle and instead ignored all warning signs along the way that change was happening. And so I'd like to introduce you to a new pattern of thinking, which is not going to be easy, because all of these past years you have conditioned your way of thinking during the good times so completely that your inner beliefs are sitting back cozy in an atmosphere of contentment. And dragging those beliefs out into the cold to be held accountable is certainly not going to be an easy task to fulfill. It's not a completely hopeless situation, though. It is possible to change one's core beliefs. It is possible to adjust to a different way of eating. It is possible to bring into your immediate radar foods that you were never ever up till now even been the slightest bit interested in buying and taking home. But hey, did you look in the mirror today when you stepped out of the shower? Therefore, from this day forward, your grocery list will adhere to stricter guidelines. Your mental processes will send out messages for help, and you will notice there are books and audios and people talking about health and places to go where you never thought you would ever have the need to visit. And from today, your life will do an about turn, and you can once again be that slim and sexy you, bearing in mind that how you look now is due to one bite at a time. And how many years has it been that you used to think the way you did as well as eat the way you did? You can do it with a different combination of food regime. Oh, what joy, you say. Your health has now from this day onwards become your priority. Let's get back to burning fat, boosting energy and feeling great, no matter how many years have piled on. I would suggest you take the time to get my latest book into your possession, which explains how you can change your inner beliefs without any conscious effort. Remember, I said to feed your mind as well as your body? Well, I've given you a link here to give you more information about my book. And I've also given you another link that if you want to buy your own copy directly from me, then you can. Then, I suggest you find out what combination of foods will help upgrade your metabolism, firing up those fat-burning hormones, boosting your energy levels, flattening your stomach, and slowing down the age processes. A colleague of mine has helped in this area by putting together something to help you with this as well. And I've given you a link so that you can get more information on a simple guide as to what is best to eat, when it is best to eat it, and with what other type of food. So that's Debbie Nicholson signing off today with my little blog for our health issues and my website of self-healing experiences. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow about another interesting topic.